As I think about it, I could have titled this week not just Peace Over Fear, but I could have called it Peace Over Fear in some of the greatest chapters in the Bible. We've heard from Isaiah chapter 40, John chapter 14, Romans chapter 12, and now another one of the great chapters of the Bible. Today is Matthew chapter 5, the beginning of Jesus' Sermon on the Mount. And I want to encourage you to read today the Beatitudes, Matthew 5, verses 1 through 12. And of course, one of those Beatitudes speaks very clearly and directly about peace, and that's verse 9. Blessed are the peacemakers, for they will be called children of God. Why do you think Jesus includes that statement in his foundational sermon? Well, first of all, is it easy or difficult to be a peacemaker? I think all of us would acknowledge or state that being a peacemaker is very difficult to do. Why? Well, because it's risky. How is it risky? Well, it's risky at many different levels depending on the situation. First of all, if it's a situation between you and another person, there is a risk of how that peacemaking or the attempt at peace or reconciliation or resolving conflict will go. There is always the chance that those efforts will not be welcomed, they'll be rebuffed, they'll be rejected, and it may even lead to the end of a relationship, and a relationship perhaps that we value. So there is that level of risk to peacemaking. At a larger level, we may think, well, our values may be at risk. If I make peace or if I compromise on something that to me is a foundational value, there's a risk to what I believe and what I stand for. There are physical risks as you move up the chain of types of peacemaking, right? We know that the United Nations has peacemakers, and these are troops who are sent to situations that are volatile or explosive, or even situations where war is taking place, and there is literally physical danger to being a peacemaker. Being a peacemaker, though, Jesus says, there is a blessing for those who seek to make peace, for they will be called children of God. Why does Jesus say that? I think because God's longing and God's desire is for there to be peace. Peace within individual people's hearts and minds and spirits, so that people are not fearful or troubled or afraid. Peace in the relationships that are most vital and important to us in our life, with our family, our friends, and those who are near and dear to us. And yes, even peace between nations. God's desire is for peace. And it's not for evil, it's not for violence, it's not for murder and death. Blessed are the peacemakers. How can you be a peacemaker where you live and work and serve today?